Welcome to the Forward Focus FlashCast, bite-sized episodes on becoming an effective, well-rounded leader, with quick tips that you can implement right away. Today, we're having a conversation around urgent versus important, and how you can differentiate the two and focus on the right tasks. So we've all been there, right? You're cranking through your day. You feel like you're being really busy. You're questioning maybe how productive you've been, but you're knocking out emails, the gotta minutes or the door knocks or the texts, all the pings on our messaging devices nowadays. You're knocking them out. But how can you know that you're focusing on the most important tasks? What I'd like to talk about today is the quadrants, right, of important versus urgent. So whether you've heard of this quadrant before or you're being introduced to it for the first time, we have it attached to this episode, so please be sure to check it out. So what it is on the left-hand side of the quadrant, you have important, right? Let's define important. The way I define important is if you don't accomplish the task or the item that is deemed important, you're going to be behind on critical projects or critical movement in your organization. In other words, if you don't do it, you're kind of in the, I'm in trouble. Versus urgent is something that's time sensitive. Maybe it's a deadline that's looming, or it's something that is pushed onto your plate with a 24-hour turnaround time, but it's not necessarily critical to the organization or to your job performance. And we get inundated with both of these types of tasks every single day. So let's jump into this and break it down. First and foremost, top left of the quadrant would be high importance and high urgent. What this means is, for example, if somebody's house is on fire, right? It's incredibly important to get the most important things out of the home, people, animals, anything that is sentimental that can't be replaced. And it's also really urgent to do so quickly because, again, the house is on fire. So think about your role. Think about your organization. What is something that is super important and also urgent to get done today? If you have a client calling in that is going to yield 2 or 3 future sales in your organization over the next month, and they're really upset about how something was handled, and they feel like they aren't being heard and that the service isn't being provided, that's really important to the outcome of your organization. And it's also super urgent that you respond timely and you handle the issue and you put it out, right? So that would be something that is both urgent and important. Then you move over to the second quadrant, which is top right. This would be a high level of importance, but a low level of urgency. So for example, exercising, right? We all know that we should do it. It's an important part of our lives, but it's not necessarily urgent. Like if you don't exercise today, is your life going to end or will it be radically transformed? No, but it's really important to be a part of what you're doing. So if you think about your work, something that might be really important is going through your goals each day with your team to make your sales force, for example, to make sure that you're hitting the goals that you need to hit to take the company to the level it needs to be at. But if it happens at 9 a.m. or if it happens at 10 or if it happens at 4 p.m., it's not going to be critical mission status, right? It's just something that's really important. Now, there is something to be argued that consistency, right, is really key with your team. So you want to pick a time, of course, and stick to it as best as you possibly can. Quadrant 3, right? So this would be bottom left. This is low importance, but high urgency. This is often other people's emergencies. This is often other people's mistakes or deadlines that are now put onto your plate that you have to help solve. It's not important necessarily to what you're doing or looking to accomplish, but it's super urgent because it may hold up the entire project. And at some point, especially if you're in a leadership role, it may reflect on you as the leader. So an example of that in your job, it could be you asked for something by Friday at 5, it's not there. And so now, because you have that Monday morning at 9 a.m. conference call, you're working till 6:30, 7 o'clock, picking up pieces that maybe somebody else on the team didn't get completed by that 5 o'clock deadline. Definitely urgent, not necessarily important. But that conference call on Monday morning is very important. See the difference? And then quadrant 4, which is bottom right, this is low urgency and low importance. We get inundated with many of these every single day. This can be that pile of papers on your desk that keeps piling up, and you need to organize it. You need to file it and put it away, but it's just like, okay, I'll get to that tomorrow. Or it could be, your tax logs over the last 3 or 4 years in your business, making sure those are coded and put away properly and stored in case you would ever need them in the future. Again, you have them on hand. They're not necessarily something that need to be done today. Okay, so now that we've introduced the tool, here's my challenge for you. And obviously, if you're driving right now, just keep listening in and go back and reflect on this at a later point. So here's the question, right? Over the last week or so, how have you done in staying in your lane and focusing on the most important tasks, right? How have you done not letting the non-urgent or non-important tasks seep into your calendar, seep into your life? Because that's pulling away from your most important tasks so you can live your life by design that you choose to. So my challenge is for you to think about, if you've let the distractions in, if you've let them creep in and sort of impact your schedule, and let's say you rank yourself at a 3, right? So 5 would be, I couldn't have done better. 1 would be, I didn't do a very good job of this at all. How do you move it up by 1 point or 2 points over the next 30 days? Maybe it's printing off the quadrant and having it in your portfolio or on your computer screen. Maybe it's wrapping up each of your days and saying, what are 3 important tasks I completed today and what distractions got in my way, right? We can't improve it until we measure what we're trying to look at. This quadrant will absolutely save you time. And when you use it at the highest level, it will keep you focused on the right tasks. I'm super excited to see what you do with it. If you found value in today's content, please be sure to subscribe so you never miss a lesson to become the leader you deserve to be. And until next time, lead on.